Good morning, YouTube. Happy Sunday. Well, I'm out here for my walk this morning. It's a beautiful day here in Northern California, and I'm here chilling in my high school football field. I'm just loving it. It brings me so many memories here when I went to school here. And one day, when I make it to the big leagues, I would like to donate my high school a brand new field, maybe some new bleachers. You see a little rusty. We got some lighting, but some new posts. My kids, my two younger kids, are going to be going to Upper Lake, so that would be nice. Like I said, when I hit the big leagues, I would like to donate to my high school because I get so many memories here. But as I sit here, I think about the many fears that I used to feel sitting here. And I would think to myself, man, what am I going to do with my life? I wasn't doing really good in school. In fact, I almost had to go to that school right there where all the bad boys go. Nah, I'm just joking. All the good people that have some learning troubles like myself. I almost had to go there. But the point is, there are so many fears that I remember sitting here of what was going to happen in my life. And I believe that a lot of folks, can relate to me. Maybe for you it's at your current age, right? In your 20s or your 30s or your 40s. For me, I had a lot of fear on this field. Again, because I wasn't good in school. I was lazy. I was more of an entrepreneur. I knew then that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, like my father and my uncles. But as I'm 42, going to be 43 this month, I think about how many folks I've helped over the years in this business and how many of them failed. In fact, 90% of agents fail their first year. And all these years, I've always asked myself, why? Is it because the agent's lazy? Okay, we'd look at that. Is it because their agent doesn't have support? We've attempted to provide all the support. We try to minimize the gaps of why agents fail. But I've come to the realization in the last few months that the core reason is fear. Agents are paralyzed by fear. And fear is a normal feeling that we all have, like myself, you guys. But some are paralyzed by it, and others are motivated by it. Which one are you? For me, I was never paralyzed by fear. I was scared, but I wasn't paralyzed by it. I could embrace it. I could feel that fear. So one of the things that we've been doing has been following Dr. Hendrickson. And Dr. Hendrickson is a clinical psychologist. And I've been really diving into her information and what she talks about. And she talks about this fear that affects all of us at some point in time. And think about it for a little bit. I'll give you an example, how it works. I had an agent, very talented agent, interviewed, we decided to partner up, paid up front $3,000 for his lead order. And day one, that fear was creeping in. On day two, he wanted to have a conversation with me to talk about the possibility of getting a refund on his leads not because of the quality, not because of X Telecom, not because of any of that, but mainly because of fear. And I asked him, I was like, what are you scared of? And for a little bit, he couldn't give me a definite answer, maybe because he was embarrassed. But he finally drummed up the courage and he says, I'm scared that if I go through any more of these leads, I won't make enough money to pay them off and continue. And this was on day two. He already had a sale or two under his belt, but his fear was so much that he'd rather cash out the invoice so he can move on. And right then and there, I helped him understand something. I helped him understand that his fear false evidence appearing real was false, very false. I reminded him that he had a 50% guarantee with us. And when I reminded him that, like, that fear started to dwindle a little bit. But again, it showed me what Dr. Hendrickson talks about being 100% fact. It reminds me of when I was at the airport in Atlanta, Georgia. Very clearly. And I was there waiting to get a plane to head to California. And it was raining cats and dogs. And for me, being from Northern California, as you can see, we're used to this nice weather. The rain, we don't have the crazy lightning every once in a while. But that day in Atlanta, it was nasty. And I remember looking out the window in the airport, and I started to feel this fear. And I could feel my anxiety level starting to creep up. And I sent my ex-wife a text message telling her about the weather conditions and that I was going to jump on the airline. And I even asked her, maybe I should stay. It's making me nervous. She tells me, well, you do what you feel you need to do. If you don't feel it's safe, don't get on that plane. I felt like Richie Valens from La Bamba at that time with Buddy Holly. I was nervous. Something in my guts, right, was telling me, don't get on this airplane. I got on the airplane. I didn't listen to my guts. I get on the airplane. I'm sitting there on the chair. And the plane starts taking off. And I'm looking out the window and I'm thinking, damn, this is not looking good. I should have gotten off at the door. I shouldn't have gotten on. And again, my body composition, my breathing's changing. And I'm getting more and more nervous. Others around me, some feel the same way. Others are totally cool. They got their blinders on. They're going to sleep. But not me. For the next 5 minutes, as we lifted off into the air, the turbulence was one of the worst I've ever been in my life. I was scared. I was scared and I was panicking and I felt my world was coming to an end. I just couldn't understand how this pilot wasn't turning around. I couldn't understand how he was pushing through this. And I could feel the breathing. I could feel my heart in my throat. But what do you guys think happened when we punctured through the clouds? The sun was beautiful like it is right now. And it was totally nice. No turbulence. So once again, my fears at that moment appeared to be real in that moment. But the reality is that those fears were false. The reality was that just past those clouds, it was beautiful. And I always think about that metaphor, that analogy, that situation that happened to me, because that's exactly what happens to a lot of us. We start a new opportunity and immediately we start buying into our fears. Oh my God, is this opportunity real? Is this manager know what he's doing? I haven't seen my manager's actual bank account. Does he make all the money he's saying he makes? And all these fears that are false and these thoughts that are false, 100% of the time are not reality. 100% of the time. And if they are 100% of the time not real, then we could ambush, destroy, sabotage the opportunities that we have in front of you. And that's scary. How many agents do you see that are in fear and they're jumping from opportunity to opportunity and they just never make it? Or it's like the guy that's working out. He's talking about he works out and you see him at the gym. He's posting pictures, but the dude looks exactly the same. Same thing. Fears. Fears. Fears are stopping them from doing what makes them uncomfortable, and they never get progress. So, you guys enjoy your Sunday. Face your fears. If you guys want to talk about this exercise with Dr. Hendrickson or want to learn more about it, call me up. One of the things I'll finish with this is that sometimes what happens, according to the doctor, is that we, instead of feeling our fears and really processing them, we kind of get away from them and could put on this shell of confidence, and we don't address them. And then we attempt to be something that we're not. Embrace your fears. Process them. And when you really process them and look at them objectively, you're going to realize, once again, fears are false evidence appearing real. False. So don't buy into that BS, guys. So you guys enjoy your Sunday, and see you guys at the top. Peace.